Oh, they're crazy. They're crazy. Watch this, though. I'm crazier. Watch this. Oh! Oh! Oh my god, the first encounter! And that's what we do! So essentially for the cave mission, what we found to be very interesting is this build right here. You can still pick up a red stratagem, but first let's start off with the blue ones. So what you want to do is, since the mission gives you the portable hell bomb on its own, you're not going to need this. You got to make a decision between, let's say, the supply pack or essentially whatever you want. I'm going to go for the war pack here. So for this one, we're going to pick up Stalwart. We're going to play this on maximum RPM as well. That is something you should keep in mind. The next blue is going to be the mech. Now, this is important because it's going to make the mission much easier. And you're going to see how we're going to approach the mission as we get in there. But essentially, with the mech, it gives you the ability to push into the cave and get that clear pretty securely. You got to be careful. Obviously, you know, things can go wrong and you can fail. But at the end of the day, when you have a lot of bug holes to close down and you got to get in there and clear everything, this gives you a better chance of doing that. Because as mentioned, the game does give you a free hell bomb. For the last one, we're going to pick up a red stratagem. This is going to be there to take out bigger targets as soon as we're kind of done with the cave. And in some cases, there's going to be openings there, so you can still use it. This can be the 500 kg or the orbital laser. For this one, I'm going to use probably the 500 kg, but honestly, the laser is also a good pick. I'm going to go for the Hellpod space optimization, because if we do go down, coming back and having 6 stims is awesome. And we're going to have 6 stims because I'm going to be using the medium armor with 6 stims, right? The medical armor. And this is also going to help us with survivability in the cave. Keep in mind, you cannot call in resupplies and stuff like that. So you need as many stims as possible. So this comes in clutch. Now for the primary weapon, and this is also very important, I'm going to be going for the eruptor. You could go for the crossbow. The reason I want these 2 weapons is because they can easily close down bug holes. Now, once you pick up the eruptor, what you can also do is in the second slot, keep the one and only ultimatum. Remember, we're in the cave, right? So having this kind of weapon, if you need to, just to blast away a charger or a bile titan, which by the way can pop up in the cave, is awesome. And then for the grenades, it's going to be gas all day long, because gas grenades are just awesome for survivability and add control as well. Now I'm going to jump in and we're going to go through this mission, and I'm going to explain how and what kind of strategy I like to use in order to get this done a little bit easier. So one of the strats that you can use is drop in the open areas to kind of speed everything up. This is a little bit risky because you can end up in the midst of a lot of enemies, and if that is the case, you can get in trouble. We got to drop the exosuit very fast here, and obviously the game gives you the portable hell bomb. So these are the only 2 tools you're gonna drop at the beginning, okay? You don't need anything else, okay? You really don't. So you just grab these 2 things and you're directly gonna start going in to the cave as soon as you can. So we're gonna get in here, boom, and now we're just gonna try to find our way into the cave, which should be somewhere here. Actually, perfect, I think. And essentially, you're going to use the mech to get into the depths of the cave. No, I think it's the other way around. Depths of the cave as easily as possible. You're going to drop the hell bomb, or you're just going to sacrifice yourself for 1 reinforcement. That's absolutely fine. And remember that you also have to close down the bug holes. And that is another reason why the mech can be really good, right? You don't necessarily have to stay and fight everything either. You can just try to ignore some of the enemies. You know, if they're not like direct danger to you, just keep moving. Remember, you can also get like big targets in there, which can be very scary, you know? It really can. I think the entrance should be to our right here. Yep. So once you go in, I've noticed that in most of the caves, at least most of them, I don't know if it's all of them, I don't see anything, bro. That's crazy. But you can see how the mech really makes this so much more comfortable. You know? Like even a charger in here and stuff. Be very careful with the spewers. The spewers can mess you up easily. Now you can use this, for example, to also not just clear, but as I mentioned, to close down the bug holes. This also comes in handy. And kind of, as you're in here, make your way towards the main target. I would say that once you get there, forget about the bug holes and just focus on the main mission, just to drop, you know, the main item, which is going to be the hell bomb in this case, and deal massive damage. Complete the mission. Try to a little bit sit on the ammo as well. Remember that you can destroy the entrances with your mech. If you see a bug hole, prioritize it. The more you get with your first push, the better. It's gonna make it easier. Okay, we are at the main spot. I'm gonna try to destroy this one. I'm gonna jump out now, right? One thing that we can do is try to just drop this. Oh, we can't go this way. We're gonna have to go down here, but that's okay. See, the reason I didn't bring my other blue stratagems is that essentially now the mission is complete, but I don't have to worry about leaving my blue stratagems there. Now I still need 10 more bug holes, and I don't think it necessarily has to be in there. You can find it wherever you want around the map. Now we can again pick up the blue stratagems. You see what I mean? And we didn't waste it there. Nothing. It was a clean push. We got everything done that we needed without any issues whatsoever. We got some bug holes, blah, blah, and all that kind of stuff. Boom, boom, boom. We're ready to go. Now I'm going to pick up the stalwart. Now I'm going to pick up the one and only, which is my favorite item in the game. And now I'm going to move on to the main mission. Okay? And that is essentially what I like to do when I'm playing. The caves, shriekers can be very annoying. If you have a chance to focus on them first, like look at how many there are. Please always go for them. And that is why precisely Eruptor is one of the best. We're going to drop this bad boy over here. We're going to keep moving with the warp pack, right? That is exactly what you want to be doing. Always on the move. Hopefully I don't get hit here. Oh, that was close. Let me get the reload. Meanwhile, the resupply should be landing. I'm not focusing on these guys yet. We could actually start focusing on him a little bit here. Always move to the sides as you're shooting so you don't get tagged as much. Clear a bunch of them. Okay, let me drop another mech while we're at it. Over there. Resupply in 10 seconds. Until then, we can kind of chill. Another great tip if you want to know how to... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Damn, that was close. That was actually close. He could have killed me. Okay, we're in the mech. I'm going to use the mech again to get the clears. And still, I'm not worried about these guys right now, so I'm just going to use it freely. Boom. Run over that. How many more do we need? Oh, this should be it. Okay. Mech gets us the clear. I do wish, like, mechs had a little bit more armor. Like, they're, like... Everything on their side just gets destroyed so easily, like their arms and everything. I wish they had a little bit more armor. I think that would be so much more fun. But regardless, I mean, it gets us the clear here. Yeah, essentially, this build is going to work both, as I said, in a solo environment and in a team environment as well. You got to be more careful when you're playing solo, though, because, like, crazy stuff can happen, especially if the new bugs are popping out of the ground like that. The warriors are kind of crazy. They can pop behind you out of nowhere and, like, literally just one-tap you. You guys remember how that was already happening and, like, people were complaining about it? Now it's, like, happening and it's like a mechanic in the game. So be very careful with the new enemies. They are pretty deadly. The borrowers, they're actually pretty deadly. So you gotta be locked in, boys. Gotta be locked in. Really, really locked in, too. I'm not gonna res him here because maybe somebody drops him next to his gear. Like, even when it comes to holding, like, areas like this, thanks to the gas grenades, you're gonna be fine. Don't forget that you always have your red stratagems as well. And then you can always call in your mech. And essentially, you can finish off the mission with another mech. Boom, boom, boom. Go absolutely insane. Because at this point, you don't really care. You're just spamming everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, for the cave missions, you're going to be locked in. It definitely makes it easier. Keep in mind the strategy that I talked about, that you can drop in those openings in the cave. That will speed up everything. And you go from there. You know what I mean? Okay, we can get out of here. Let's go, boys. But yeah, the build works for cave missions. It's actually pretty simple. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, slap a like, sub to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one.